Record. Hey everybody, it's Dave Whitmarsh, best practice in HR.com. Congratulating myself today on my fourth year in business. So today I have a gentleman that I've never spoken with. I have no clue where he's from, and to tell you the truth, I've had a crazy couple days, so I haven't even done my good research to know what I'm getting into here. So Amit, please tell us a bit about yourself and where you're from and your role there.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks a lot, David. Hello, everyone. I'm Amit Chauhan, CEO of JobAdX. We're a programmatic job advertising exchange based out of Toronto, Canada. Though our core focus market is US and United Kingdom, and that's what we're serving.
Oh, so we maybe we shouldn't say that we have two Canadians in the room then, right? So, so I did get a chance to read some of the things about you in some blogs from HR Tech. You got some pretty high praise, and I believe you're involved in a shootout, were you?
Pitch Fest, yes.
Yeah, and how did that go?
It was really good, actually. It gave us a lot of good coverage, like an opportunity to present to almost 200 people. The time was very tight. It was like 3 minutes. You have to cover a lot of content that what you do, your market, your audience, and everything. What I really got from it was to actually drill down our pitch and our messaging so precisely that anyone can understand in 2 to 3 minutes. And then after the pitch fest, we actually got a lot of traffic coming to our booth. People wanted to learn more. They got the high level idea from the pitch, but then they just wanted to understand the basics and more things that go behind the technology and what we have developed.
And so help us out. So what is the product? What does it do?
Yes, absolutely. So now to get to the product, I think it's important to understand the background where we're coming from. So my personal background is in consumer advertising technology, and that has been the focus for us to bring the power of consumer ad tech into recruitment space. And that's what when we got into this space close to 4 to 5 years ago, we had a different product which still exists called Recruit. The same idea, the same mission that bring the consumer ad tech. One of the things we saw, which was a big boom in programmatic job advertising, and it happened maybe 5 to 6 years ago. Everyone started talking about that. But one of the things we realized that what programmatic in our industry was doing was not actually what programmatic is in consumer ad tech. So programmatic in our industry are automating how you buy job advertising, or how you automate the bidding processes and everything. And then we saw on the platforms that are offering that, and we realized that those are good platforms, but they are not for the end HR person to use or end recruiting professional to use. They're either for agencies or either those platforms are served as a service. So that's when it stuck to us that what we wanted to bring, and the core concept with JobAdX was very clear, to bring the same power of true programmatic, which is the real-time job delivery, into recruitment space, which is usable by anyone. So it's not like super complex platform. It's highly simplified version. The best way to describe it is, think of us as Google AdSense for jobs. We go partner with job boards, publishers, blogs, where we claim dedicated slots on their search results, where only we can publish the job and candidate searches. So to give an example, if you go to Marshall, you see an ad. That ad is a response of an auction that happens milliseconds before the page was loading. It's 100% real time, 100% dynamic. The reason you see that ad is because of your browsing history, what the particular ad exchange has on you, to make it more relevant. We are a fortunate industry where it's all intent driven. Job seekers literally tell us what they want to see. So what we are able to do with JobAdX is we get that data, what job seekers are searching on our publisher network, get it back to our exchange, find the best matching jobs from the advertiser and employers, and put it out there in the publishers see everything in real time.
Very cool. Very cool. And so from a process standpoint, the technology helps from a process standpoint, the technology helps people in the fact that you can post multiple places, right? So there's a time savings there, and I guess just being able to even do that is something that most people don't do. So I guess I'm trying to run through the situation of somebody that does a lot of hiring, hasn't leveraged something like this, and trying to figure out where's the process, how does it save, and what are some of the things that they benefit by by what you guys do.
No, absolutely. So when we talk about the benefits, there's a big list of benefits that we can start off with. Let's start with the very beginning. And one of the biggest problems that we saw that was happening. So what we saw in one of the most common trend in job advertising is that when you post a job on any job board or aggregator, the first day you get a huge rush of applicants because your job is on the first page. But before you know, it gets slipped into second or third page, and then you start to see a decline in the volume of the applicants, and you hardly start to see any new job seekers. But that doesn't mean that there are no new candidates entering the job market. It's just your job is not visible. And one of the reasons we say is we are so spoiled by Google that if your job or any content is not on first page of any search engine, you will not go to second or third page.
I didn't know there was a second page of Google.
So. Exactly, and that's the same behavior we take when we go to job boards, right? We see this first job, jobs on the first page, and then we just think that okay, the other ones might not be relevant or might be expired. And that's what was the underlying problem that we wanted to solve, that the candidates can actually access our jobs on the page they are. So with the dedicated slots, we are able to rotate jobs more frequently. We also learn a lot about the data. For example, if a job seeker sees a job for 5 times, doesn't click on it, they don't see the same job again in our entire network. So that just gives us more visibility and understanding about what job seekers really want to see. Another thing is we understand that job seeker searches are very, very high level. So for example, a candidate comes in and search sales. Now sales is a very high level. We use data to understand what sales they really need, sales in retail or sales in IT. Job seekers at times just searches the company name. So if there's no job for that particular company, we can find the close matching jobs maybe in healthcare, maybe in retail, just to make sure that data is utilized in order to have better user experience, better candidate engagement. In the end, everything benefits the end employer who's willing to hire, who's trying to hire, trying to find candidates in such a competitive market.
Gotcha. And so obviously this is for how many hires or how many requisitions would you need to have open in order for something like what you guys do to make sense financially?
No, absolutely. And that's where a lot of time when we talk to people, we tell them do not get scared by the term programmatic in our scenario, because what we have learned from the programmatic platforms in our industry, that it was only for the enterprise clients or the big agencies who can utilize it. Mm-hmm. Our goal was to build this programmatic exchange focused on something that you will say a Google AdWords or Google Ads, that anyone, it doesn't matter if you have 1 job or 100 jobs, if you are willing to distribute that job on the web, find more candidates, better engagement, you can use it. It's built with the same simplicity that you can come in and launch a campaign in maybe less than 5 minutes. And after that, it's almost on autopilot. We have smart algorithms, machine learning that improves and enhances the performance of the campaigns while it's going.
Gotcha. Okay. And so where does the technology sit? Is it something that you embed into your applicant tracking system or your HR, or is it something that is on its own, siloed?
And so it's a SaaS platform that they can just sign up and start using. It's very easy. The setup, for some employers, we do have cost per applicant model, so which is a low risk model. Though in that scenario, we do request them to put our tracking pixel on their ATS. If it's doable, we do help them set it up with our tech team, helping them along the way. And that's a process for them. We are now starting to partner with some of the ETSs and CRMs where they will be able to, like the recruiting team will be able to actually use our technology right from their current platforms, so they don't even have to come to our site to create jobs or create campaigns.
Yeah, and so that's going to help them just when they start doing reporting and metrics and finding out where the best spends and where the quality candidates are coming in from, right? Just to have
Absolutely.
Having it all integrated would be a big help. So
Absolutely.
Easily done. Wouldn't want to do it 15 years ago, but it's pretty easy to do these days. So
Exactly.
and so from a market standpoint, is there a lot of, when you show people or talk to people about this, what is their first expression? Are they, how do they react?
Yeah, I think so one of the things we're seeing, and I think it's a general evolution we have seen in the talent acquisition space in the last, I'll say, couple of years. And I think you might agree that more marketers are entering those departments.
Yeah.
And that is actually remarkably helpful for us. So companies which are adopting technologies from EdTech, when we are talking with people, not just with HR background, but also with some sort of advertising and marketing background, they understand what we are talking to. They know the challenges they were facing. We tell them one of the most basic thing that we compare different sort of web properties, and job ads are the only ads that where performance decreases with time. Any other job content or any other, not job content, any other content that stays on web, it usually gets better, start to receive more engagement, but not in case of job ad. And that's what we are fixing. And anyone the employer says that the challenge they usually face is they create the job post, they get a lot of applicants in first and second day, then they have to put more money in or sponsor it to get more candidates. And that's exactly what we're solving. You say, you don't have to do that. You can run a campaign with us. We have those dedicated premium slots on the site, in our publisher network. And throughout the life of the campaign, you'll get the same steady traffic.
No, makes sense. And so, it's, and how did you stumble across this, and when did you find or come to the realization that HR was a good fit for this?
So we entered the HR industry as an accident. So the first product that we released in 2015, it's Recruit, which is a social job advertising and retargeting platform. So we realized that Facebook is a general destination for a lot of employers to find candidates, especially target the passive candidates, and we see really good success there. We were able to serve some really good clients and companies. And while researching, while we were building and busy with Recruit, we realized that job boards, essentially in our industry, historically have used ad units like Google AdSense, or in some cases banner ads, for extra monetization. So what our idea was that if we can access to those particular ad units, and instead of placing a banner ad, if we can place a native job ad there, which is controlled by our exchange, that can add a lot of value for the job board and also for us. So, and while already 9 months into the process, what we're seeing is we're generating 17% more clicks for job boards, because now they don't have any banner ads or any flashy ads on their site. And for employers, in just 9 months, we have served close to 30 million job seeker requests and over 35 million job ad impressions. So that's a scale that we have received in just 9 months. We are expecting to double this number in the next 2 to 3 months.
Oh, very good. And where, although that was a bit of a projection, where do you see this space being in 5 years? Where do you guys?
Yeah, so right now when we're looking at it, the programmatic spend, in our industry is still in, we'll say, infancy. So it's still like 5 to 6% at max. And the reason is there's a lot of noise that happens around what programmatic is and who should be using it, who should not be using it. The platforms that are out there, there's really good platforms, but the focus and the bigger challenge is that they don't cater the you can say the majority of the market, which are SMBs. They're really good for and big enterprises, agencies, any staffing companies. But the majority of the job market, which lies with your SMBs, it's pretty much out of the grabs. It becomes too expensive for those companies to use. So that was our goal, to bring the same programmatic technology into the space for anyone to use, and especially help the SMBs to smartly spend their job advertising budget using the same high-tech technology.
No, very cool. Very cool. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or how do they get a hold of you, and what should they look for?
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone wants more information, they can go to our website. It's www.jobadx.com. It's JOBADX.com. Or you can reach out to us at joinus@jobadx.com.
Wonderful. I appreciate the oversight, the insight there, and continued success.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time today.
All right, take care.